Thank you for tuning into Firebase Prime, your source for tips, tricks, and tutorials to make your life in the Fallout 76 Wasteland just a little easier. Tune in every week as I take a deep dive into new Fallout 76 topics, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos drop. Also, check us out on Twitter and Instagram for even more content between videos. The first update of 2021 is here, and with it comes many important quality of life updates that are sure to make your time in the Wasteland a more enjoyable experience. While little is introduced by way of new or returning content, Update 25 instead focuses heavily on inventory improvements, as well as changes to daily ops along with several minor tweaks to the game itself. As usual, I'm going to go through a list of the updates that stood out the most to me, but I'd highly recommend reading through the full release notes, which I've linked to in the description down below. But without further delay, let's get into it. By far the most anticipated change implemented with Update 25 is the 50% stash weight increase, resulting in players now having 1,200 pounds of stash capacity to work with. On top of the obvious benefit of finally having a place to drop some of the rare items and weapons that I've either been wanting to keep or eventually sell, I'm pretty excited about this change for two other reasons. For one, it means that server stability is now at a place that supports each player having 400 additional pounds of stash weight. After coming into the game at a time when this would not have been the case, it's a great benchmark for how far the game has come. Secondly, I'm looking forward to seeing how this impacts player vending, especially over the next few weeks. While I can only speak for console, or more specifically Xbox, player vending hasn't been the same since the Wastelanders launch, which you may recall is when Bethesda disabled vending for multiple weeks to stop an exploit. Once it finally came back, the market never really felt the same. I'm interested to see if the additional stash capacity, mixed with the new vending tooltips, which I'll cover later in the video, are enough to cause a resurgence. Update 25 also introduces some major improvements to inventory with the introduction of the new tab and addition of dedicated tabs for armor and food and drink. With the new tab, players can easily view which items they picked up and received as event rewards during their current play session, sorted from newest to oldest. This makes it incredibly easy to sort through items as they come in, and greatly assists in determining which items need to be sold, scripted, and scrapped. I'm incredibly excited about this change because it makes inventory management proactive instead of reactive, aka when you suddenly become stranded because you're over your carry weight and have no idea why. The only items that you won't find under the new tab are recent pickups of stackable items that you're already holding a quantity of. For example, if you're currently holding steel scraps and pick up another steel scrap, the new pickup won't appear in the new tab. The same goes for individual rounds of ammo and pickups of chems that you already are holding on to some amount of. In addition to the new tab, armor has been split out from apparel into its own dedicated tab, and likewise, food and drink has been split out of aid. The new tabs have been universally implemented, meaning that you'll find them under the inventory tab in your Pip-Boy, when viewing your stash, and when shopping at vendors, including player-owned vending machines. When viewing the weight of stacked items in your inventory, such as matching ammo rounds, junk scraps, and chems, the stack's combined weight is now shown in addition to individual item weight. This makes it easier to see how much of an impact these items are having on your overall carry weight, no longer requiring you to do the math in your head. My only suggestion for a future update would be to update sorting to allow for sorting by stack weight, as sorting by weight still goes by the individual item weight and not the overall stack. As I alluded to earlier, Update 25 includes a major overhaul of the inventory tooltip displayed when hovering over camps offering vending. Gone are the days of traveling across the map to another player's camp just to find that all the weapons and armor pieces being sold are non-legendary items. Now, tooltips will display the number of 1, 2, and 3-star legendary weapons and armor pieces separately from the number of non-legendary items being sold. Also, empty vending categories will no longer be displayed in the tooltip, making it possible to quickly see a detailed view of what any given camp is offering. This change is awesome for both customers and sellers alike, as potential customers can now see a detailed picture of what a camp is offering and can better determine ahead of time if a camp is worth visiting, and sellers, particularly those with large stocks of legendary items, are now more likely to get traffic even if their camps are placed in remote parts of the map. I love this feature and can't wait to see its impact on vending. The only thing that I think is missing is a dedicated count for apparel, so that tooltips mimic the new inventory changes. For anyone else who's tired of running a daily op in under 8 minutes just to receive their 20th Vault 94 stash box plan, rejoice, as you're now guaranteed to receive a reward from the Rare Rewards pool when completing an op quickly enough to reach the Elder tier. Mixed with a bug fix for scenarios that left players without a rare reward, even in cases when they should have received one, daily ops are looking a lot more appealing now that participants have an actual chance of getting plans for new in-game weaponry and armor pieces. Also with Update 25 comes the Spread the Love event. From now until February 16th, a free Heart Wrencher skin can be claimed for the Pipe Wrench via the Atomic Shop. You can apply this skin to any pipe wrench and use it to complete new daily and weekly challenges. The new daily challenges will provide lunchboxes, perk card packs, and repair kits, while weekly challenges unlock outfits and at some point a new variation of the Backwoods Bungalow. Completing this week's challenge, which requires you to kill 30 robots with a Heart Wrencher, unlocks the ability to craft a Robco outfit. This can be done easily enough by visiting Watoga if you've been whitelisted, or the Vault-Tec Agricultural Research Center if you're a lower level player. To be completely honest, this event seemed really dumb at first, but have you ever helped another random player beat an Assaultron to death with a pipe wrench disguised as a flower bouquet? It's freaking awesome! Not to mention that it works on Brotherhood initiates too. A very welcome change with Update 25 is the return of the Forbidden Knowledge quest. Turning in technical data will again give players a chance to unlock one of the quest's incredibly rare rewards, including the coveted Brotherhood of Steel power armor paints. Find a new piece of technical data in the wild to automatically begin the quest. On a related note, you can no longer trade, sell, or drop technical data, and you can't really use any of it that you had before the update. When browsing items in the Atomic Shop, it's now possible to hide items that you already own or have unlocked. For players who have participated in multiple seasons or have purchased a lot of items, this change makes shopping less like a scavenger hunt for new items and more like an actual shopping experience. The Radworm's disease has been nerfed to now only apply radiation damage taken from consuming food and drink, which should be a welcome change to all, particularly those who are health locked because of their build. The Friendly Fire perk has been expanded to include all weapons that add fire damage, making Friendly Fire more flexible, especially for those not wishing to use a flamer. For the first time since Wastelanders, sorting applicable inventory tabs in your Pip-Boy by Spoil will no longer cause the game to briefly lock up. While not so useful for food and drink items these days, this should be a beneficial change for anyone collecting large quantities of flora for chem or flux crafting. Fallout First rewards on the season scoreboard are no longer automatically claimed with their corresponding standard reward and now must be claimed separately. This change will provide Fallout First subscribers with more control over which character receives exclusive rewards in cases that the reward is character bound. Just make sure that you remember to claim your exclusive rewards, as now they're not automatically claimed. For those relying on fluorescent flux, you can now use irradiated thistle to craft it in stable form. This makes crafting an even more attractive nuclear target, as now it provides some fluorescent on top of the obscene amounts of raw violet flux that can be found there. Power armor users using the Targeting HUD mod will now only see highlights applied to hostile targets, instead of virtually every living thing. As a user of the mod, I'm happy that it'll be harder to accidentally kill settlers now, but not happy that I'll have to look harder for Brotherhood initiates. Finally, any heavy gunners who recently experienced problems with the Stabilize perk should now see the perk work as expected. The Stabilize card is pretty much a staple in most heavy gunner builds, so I'm glad to see it fixed. That's it for today's video. Make sure to hit the like button if you found this video helpful. And while you're at it, also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay up to date with new content as it's posted. I'll be back next week with a new video, but until then, for the Enclave.